Hey guys, Script Trooper here with another video, and the Acolyte is the drunk at the bar that just won't leave, even though you've cut him off. He's the pimple that no matter how many times you pop, for some unknown reason continues to come back. He's the ex-girlfriend who keys your car, or slashes your tire, and just won't take no for an answer. So here we are. The Acolyte has been a massive hit. Didn't you guys know it was a massive hit? Remember when Disney came out and said not enough people watched it and it was too expensive? Remember that? Like official Disney thing? No, apparently there has been a massive hit. So post-mortem, the Acolyte's been a massive hit post-mortem. Oh, man. And what's weird about this is this involves this like AI analytics company. And everyone's sort of jumping on the bandwagon, and I want to go into details about how they get their information, because there's a lot of vagueness in what they release that's creating all this hype for, the 15 people that love the Acolyte. Remember when they did that whole, Save the Acolyte? I did a video about that. It's hilarious. You should watch it. It's really funny. Anyway, the Acolyte, also known as Star Wars The Acolyte, is one of Disney Plus series set in the Star Wars franchise, blah, 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 we know. Became the subject of review bombing and accusations of woke culture. Well, it was only review bombed one way, so it couldn't have been that popular. Even with its cancellation, the actors have continued to voice their support. The series faced an extensive fan campaign for its diversity. Actors saying that they voice their support for a continuation of a show that they get paid to be on doesn't really mean much to me. The guy who played Kamir, what's his name again? Manny. Good actor, but he's like, oh yeah, I would love to do another season. Well, of course you would, right? It's a job. Any of them would. It's a job. And so Rebecca Henderson's saying this. I mean, Rebecca Henderson has been a side character on TV pretty much in everything she's been in. The Acolyte was the only show where she was considered, quote, main cast. In terms of her movies, I haven't seen most of them, but I think a lot of them were sort of minor roles as well. And it's work. The Acolyte has been a massive hit for Disney Plus. It was canceled because IYKYK, but the fans love it and we love you. Now, part of this is stemming from this thing that, The Acolyte was either the most or second most original Disney thing on Disney Plus last year. But it was the best of a terrible year. It still did less than half of The Mandalorian season 2. It did terribly. Great, you're the best of crap. And Disney Plus's viewership in general has been going down heavily. So I don't know what is so exciting about that. Yeah, I know it's a very low-rated show, and Disney themselves said that, and said that it cost too much money. So where is this coming from? Right? Let's get into this. The outlet reports, according to Parrot Analytics, the show received more than 20 times the average demand compared to the current streaming landscape, proving there is an audience for Acolyte Season 2. Henderson, who plays Jedi Master Vernestra Rowe, further showed her support. Yeah, we know that. Okay. This is where the questions come in. 20 times the average demand. In what? What are they talking about? And they don't really give a very good answer as to what they're talking about. So we already know Daphne Keane wants to do another season. And Stenberg. And so this is what I'm talking about. The quote from Disney, Alan Bergman, co-chairman. We were happy with our performance, but it wasn't where it needed to be given the cost structure of that title, quite frankly, to go and make season 2. So that's the reason we didn't do that. Now, you could make the argument that part of the reason they are stepping back is some of the tweets and social media behavior of some of the actors. Possibly like Amanda Stenberg, who drew a lot of negative attention. She did. She overreacted and acted kind of dumb in that dumb song she made. So she did create some anger within the fan base, which has been dwindling. And many of the older fans and fans that are really into lore in Star Wars were very unhappy with the Acolyte. So that didn't help. And we see with Rachel Zegler and her constantly making comments and making people mad. It just doesn't work in acting. And I know people say this all the time. Oh, they have the right. They have the right to say whatever they want. That's not the point. There's nothing you can do about that. And there's nothing that these actresses can do when people react that way. So if you're an actress and you're trying to sell yourself, that's essentially your job, is selling yourself. Right? Because the really amazing journeyman carpenter might be able to get away with saying something political because he's just an amazing journeyman carpenter. But he's not selling himself, he's selling his work. An actress is selling herself. She's making herself popular so that she gets roles and brings in money. The carpenter can be a total a-hole and still make the company money. It's in your best interest if you're an actor to not get political. And I've said before, the biggest ones don't. So anyway, yeah, The Acolyte struggled to maintain 1.5 million viewers for premieres of new episodes, which, guys, is just crazy. 1.5 million? 1.5 million in the United States has 40 million people? Think of how sucky that is. No one's watching it. While the final season finale, had less than 1 million viewers. So how is it popular? So how is this headline, The Acolyte has been a massive hit? Where'd they come to this from? And so I looked into it. This is what it's based on. So here it says, Parrot Analytics has found that the audience demand for The Acolyte is 20.4 times the demand of the average TV series in the United States in the last 30 days. 2.7% of all shows in this market have this level of demand. Now, what does this mean? Unlocking how demand data drives content decisions for The Acolyte. So they're obviously not getting this information from the Disney Plus ratings, so they must be using social media and how much it's being talked about or something like that. It's the only possible way. By analyzing the demand metrics for The Acolyte, stakeholders can make informed decisions about its future content strategies or acquisition plans. While the show has recently seen a slight decrease in demand from its previous high, 22.6 times the average over the last 90 days, it remains exceptionally rated within the drama genre at the 99.3rd percentile. This indicates a high loyalty and engagement level from a dedicated audience, which should affect acquisition and programming decisions. Okay, so that last sentence sort of is saying to me, and let me know in the comment section what your interpretation would be, when they say it's a high loyalty and engagement level from a dedicated audience, what I'm suggesting here is that the small amount of people that supported The Acolyte, as we know from its viewership, and I see these people on Twitter all the time, I see them on YouTube, they are talking about The Acolyte a lot, more than other shows. So that small group of people that made them lose money on The Acolyte, made it not financially viable, are constantly still posting about it. And they do. I see it all the time. All the time. Making videos, please renew The Acolyte. Oh, The Acolyte was so good. Oh, Khmer was such a cool villain in The Acolyte. And probably the analytics, as soon as this is The Acolyte, it adds to this 20.6 or 22.6 times the average drama. And I think that's because, I could be wrong here, but I think that's because the average drama, when it's done, it's done. People don't just continuously beg. But Star Wars has a large creator population online, many of whom are monetized. And so they're just going to keep talking about it because they want more Acolyte. It also helps them. They may actually like it, but it also helps them and all that other stuff. And guys on the other side are the same way. As soon as this article got cited on Twitter, all the big Star Wars accounts were like, that hated The Acolyte, were like, yeah, let's do it again. Let's make fun of the show again. So I think that's what's driving this. I could be wrong because the language, again, isn't it's not giving you details about how they come up with this stuff. For The Acolyte, the metrics reveal a spike in demand at the end of February 2025. Why? Offering a window of opportunity for promotional strategies or content enhancements aimed at capitalizing on this momentum. Content valuation can also guide decisions about the potential revenue contribution from The Acolyte, as series that exhibit robust audience demand typically correlate with higher returns. Okay, so this is strange too, because why would there be a spike of demand at the end of February 2025? If I'm getting this correct, that they use analytics and AI and comb over social media. Because again, they're not getting that information from Disney because Disney, the ratings were bad. So is it possible that the company themselves have been putting out these feelers and putting out more messages and making this seem like it's more than it is. Disney themselves, I guess it's possible. I don't know why they'd want to do that. Is it potentially people within Disney that really want to see a second season? And so some of these people have a lot of money. Are they hiring bots and things to just keep posting about the Acolyte to make it seem as though it's more popular than it is? Maybe. I don't know, but I do know that sounds super, super suspect. A spike in demand at the end of February 2025, so a month ago. Why? The show is gone, canceled, sucks, no one watched it, it lost money. Why would all of a sudden, over the past 30 days, this be a thing? The Acolyte Season 2. It just seems super suspect, and this article does not give enough specific information of how they get their information. The outstanding performance extends beyond the U.S. market, as it also demonstrates significant demand in countries such as Russia, the UK, and Canada. Understanding where the Acolyte resonates most across various geographies can inform... Dude, so, again, you're not giving us any numbers. As demonstrated with the Acolyte, utilizing demand analytics allows for well-rounded decision-making that drives... See, they say it, but they don't say what exactly they're doing. It's just basically an ad. This allows studios to make decisions. It's just basically a giant ad, and then all the Acolyte people are jumping on board saying, oh yeah, so see, season 2. So this is an ad for their company and for companies like Disney to use their information. So they're not revealing the information to us in this article. They would potentially be revealing that information in more in depth to a studio, for example, that would hire them to give them that information. How fast is demand for the Acolyte growing? Minus 9.3%. So here it says the Acolyte saw a spike in demand for the last 30 days, end of February. And here it says, on a rolling 30-day average basis, we compare TV demand in the United States for the Acolyte to the preceding 30 days. Demand has decreased. So this is the article that got everybody excited? This show is not getting a second season. This article contradicts itself. This is the Acolyte's home market, and therefore its travelability is 100%. The travelability of a TV show's market of origin is always 100%. Well, then it's a useless stat. Click through to another market to discover how well the Acolyte travels internationally. Okay, let's try, I guess, well, Japan's got more people. Let's try Japan. How is this possible? Nobody watched it. Outstanding. It's in the top 3% of all shows in terms of demand for another season. It just doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? This whole thing doesn't make sense. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comment section, because this does not make sense. How could a show that did this bad all of a sudden have the highest amount of demand to have more of it? It just doesn't make sense. And so I call Bubkiss. I mean, I don't know, but it just seems fake to me. And this is why everyone's getting all excited about a possible season 2, and it's like, this doesn't really give us anything, really. If anything, it just contradicts itself, which I already showed you with multiple things. The viewership from Disney, plus the last 30 days saying it's spiking, and then it says it's going down. It doesn't... So then I was like, well, what are these guys actually doing? How do they gather information? And this is what we got. Blah, 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 blah. How they do it. They have a proprietary system that captures and analyzes consumer actions and behaviors to reflect intent and demand. Okay, well, one of the consumer actions that you would use would be merchandise sales, would it not? No one was buying the Acolyte merch to the point where Disney took it off of their merchandise website. Right away, right after the show ended. Because no one was buying it. Actions and behaviors. That's an action and a behavior that would reflect the intent and demand, would it not? Disney knew right away. Shut her down. So I don't know that this Parrot Analytics just seems silly to me. They collect data from various sources, including social, video, research. Okay, so social media. P2P downloads, person-to-person downloads, and more. They measure demand in all markets, all languages. So they use AI, I think, probably. And I don't want to, capturing and combining empirical expressions of demand from various data sources. So basically, a whole bunch of people on the internet keep talking about the Acolyte, so therefore we need to get a season 2 according to Parrot Analytics, even though Parrot Analytics admits that it's going down and that they're not using anything that they can show us. They're not telling us what is it about the Acolyte. They're just saying that it has more demand. I'd like to know exactly why you're saying that, because I don't think it does at all. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Always helps the channel. Feel free to check anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.